welcome to my YouTube channel Omniverse Ashay. So today we are having an exciting video on problem solving, and we will be solving a LeetCode problem 1657 which is on strings, and the problem name is determine if two strings are close. Okay, so we will be solving this problem. We will first try to analyze the problem, and based on that we will solve the problem, and at last we will try to optimize the problem also. So okay, so first just read the problem statement and try to analyze it. Okay, so let's begin. And also it is a medium level marked question. Okay, so let's begin. So two strings are considered close if you can attain one from another by using two operations. Operation 1 is swap any two existing characters. Okay, and operation 2 is transform every occurrence of one existing character into another character, and vice versa. Okay, let me explain the two operations. Okay, so for example, let's say we have a string, okay, A, B, C, D, E. Then operation 1 says that we can swap any of the two characters. Okay, so let's say we want to swap B and E. So after performing the operation, the string will become A, E, C, D and B after the operation 1, that is swap operation. And operation 2 says that operation 2 says that you can transform any of the two characters, but every character should be transformed, and vice versa. For example, we want to swap A and B. So in that case, all the A's will be converted to B and B's will be converted back to A. So after performing operation 2, it will become B, B, C, B, A, A. Okay, so that is the operation 2. Just nothing but just the transformation. Okay, let me write it for you. So operation 1 is swap, and then operation 2 is transform. Okay, so only two operations are there. Okay, so now let's further read the question. If you can use the operations on either string as many times as necessary, okay, we can use as many times. Okay, then the question says that if we can convert, or if we can derive word 1 to word 2 or vice versa, then we can return true because they are said to be close in that case. Otherwise, if we are not able to convert any of them into into another string, then in that category it will false. We have to return false in that case. Okay, so that's it. Okay, let me explain you the example also so that it will be much clear. Okay, so let's say we have word 1 and word 2. Word 1 is ABC and word 2 is BCA. So by using both the operations, how can we convert from word 1 to word 2? How can we do that? Okay, or we can take word 2 to word 1 also, but let's take word 1 to word 2. Okay, so how can we do? So let's analyze. So here in word 1, the first character is A, but in word 2 the first character is B. So we need to swap A, B, right, in word 1. So after doing operation 1, after doing operation 1, we will get B, A, C, right, in word 1. Again we will check what is the character 2 in word 1. It is A, but in word 2 it is C, right? So again we have to swap these two characters A and C so that we can get word 2, right? So again we will need to perform operation 1 and on AC, right? So we will get B, C, A. So yeah, in the second step only, means by doing the second time operation 1, we are getting word 2. We are getting word 2, BCA, right? So yeah, in that case we will return true. Okay, so this is example 1. Let's see example 2. Okay, so what if word 1 is ABA and word 2 is BAPB? So how can we do this in this example? So one thing we can see that here the length of word 1 is 3, but the length of word 2 is 4. So think whether it is possible to convert word 1 to word 2 or vice versa. Any of them is fine. So is it possible? But I don't see it is possible. Why? Because here the frequency of A is 2 and frequency of B is 1, but here frequency of A is 1 and frequency of B is 3. So by using any of means both the operation, like operation 1 and operation 2, we are not able to convert. Okay, because the length is different. Okay, because the length is different. So because we are not able to insert or delete, we are not able to insert or delete the characters. Okay, so that's why, because this is not allowed, right? This is not allowed. That's why we are not able to say that they are closed strings. So in that case we will return false, because it is not possible, right? Any of the operation if we do, it is not possible to convert the strings into same string. Okay, so here we get a one interesting point, that two strings must and should be of same length. Okay, if they are of not same length, then definitely we will simply return false. Okay, so this is one point we got. Then third example. Okay, word 1 and word 2. So okay, let's take a data structure. Let's say we are having a map. Okay, we are having a map where every frequency count for each character is present. Okay, so for example, A is having count 2 here, B is having count 3 and C is having count 1. Then in step 2, like step 2, yeah, this is, let's say this is map 1 and this is map 2. So here A is equal to 1 frequency, B is frequency 2 and C has frequency 3. Let me write it here, map 2 and map 1. Okay, so how can we convert? So we can see that based on the frequencies, okay, the length is same. Okay, the length is here, the length is 6, here also the length is 6, so definitely we can proceed. So one thing I'm getting here is that if there is a match in the frequencies, then we can try to match it. Like A is having 2 frequency and here B is having 2 frequency. So we will, from word 1, we will convert A to B, and here B is having frequency 3 and here also C is having frequency 3. So we will map to C, and here C is having 1 frequency on, and here word 2 A is having 1 frequency. So likewise, based on that we will convert. So C will be converted to A. Okay, so I am writing C as A here. This word 1 I am writing here. Okay, then A is by using this map, A is converted to B. Okay, so I am writing here B. Again B is mapped to C, so I am writing C because it is 3 times. Okay, again then A is there. Okay, so A is converted to B, so I am writing B. And word 2 is as it is, right? A, B, C. So one thing you can notice here is that we got our answer, right? We have to return true. Why? Because by using swap operation between these two, we will get the answer A, B, C. Okay, we got the answer, right? Here it is, word 2, and it is same. And we don't need to, there is no need to swap also, right? here only we got our answer. Here only we got our answer. There is no need to swap. As the frequencies are equal, then we can say that, okay, let me write. If frequencies of characters are equal, then true, otherwise false. Okay, so one another important point we got here. Okay, because we were able to map the frequencies and the length is also same. Okay, fine, let's move on to another example. Okay, let's see this one. Okay, here let's take the data structure map where we will store the frequency count. So C is having count 2 and A is having count 2 and again B is having count 2. Okay, so let's take another map here where A is having count 2, B is having count 2 and S is having count 2. Okay, every character is having count of 2, so definitely we can map here. But one thing you can notice here is that the most important thing here is that here A is there, here also A is there. In the string word 1 B is there, in word 2 B is there, but in word 1 C is there, but in word 2 C is not there. Okay, instead of C we are having S, so this will not work. Why? Because the operation 2 can be performed within a string, okay, but not across the string. So for C to convert it into S, we need something S. Okay, so but S is not there, right? So how you will convert? It is not possible to convert to word 1 to word 2, right? So another important point here we can mention is that the common characters should be present. Common characters should be present. If it is not present, then we will return false, otherwise we will return true. So these are the two important conditions which we need to satisfy, that is common characters should be there in the strings and the frequency of characters should be equal. Okay, the frequency of the characters should be equal. So now let's try to put it into a code format and try to run it if it is giving us the correct answer or not. Okay, so let's go. Okay guys, so now let's quickly code it up, right? So first of all we'll check whether the strings are of same length or not. Okay, so equal to word2 dot size, then in that case simply return false. Okay, now let's declare a unordered map, two unordered maps. Okay, map 1 for word 1 and then map 2 for word 2. And to keep a track of characters, whether they are present or not, whether they are present in both the strings or not, we will have a set data structure, okay, which will keep track whether they are having the same unique characters or not, same set of characters or not. Okay, so set 1 and set 2 for word 1 and word 2. Okay, so now let's loop through each of the string. So int I is equal to 0, I is less than word 1 dot size and I plus plus. So map 1 of word 1 of I will increment the frequency and also we will insert into the set data structure, right? Okay, similarly we will loop through word 2. So I is less than word 2 dot size and I plus plus. Map 2 of word 2 of I, increment the count and also store it into the set data structure. Let me correct here, it is set 1. Okay, so finally then we will check whether the most important thing, whether the set of characters are same or not. So if set 1 is not equal to set 2, well, in that case return false, right? So this is also the important condition. Otherwise we will simply take two vectors and put the frequencies, and we will check whether the frequencies are same or not. Okay, so I am declaring the vector of int, and since we have only 26 characters, so for it will be 26, length of 26, and initialize to 0. Okay, so now let's loop through our unordered map and count the frequencies. Okay, so auto iterator in map 1, and let's push back into our frequency vector. Push back the iterator dot second. Okay, because we need to keep track of the frequencies only. Okay, so that's why in that scenario. Okay, so auto iterator in map 2 also, right? So frequency 2 dot push back iterator dot second, right? So yeah, and finally after we also need to sort, because it will be as we have seen that we are not bothered about the swap operation. Why? Because the frequency count will manage it. Okay, so if the frequency count is equal, then of course the strings are possible to be converted, and we can say that it is close enough. So that's why we are now sorting the vectors, so that we will get the equality among the frequencies in both the string. Okay, so frequency 1 dot begin, frequency 1 dot end, and sort frequency 2 dot begin, okay. So after sorting the two vectors, so finally return if frequency 1 vector is equal to frequency 2 vector. Okay, so that's only we have to check. So let's try to run it, and okay, somewhere okay, here also it should be frequency 2, right? Now let's try to run it. Yeah, so it is accepting, right? So now let's try to submit it, and let's try if any test case fails or not. No, it is completed, right? Yeah, we have submitted it. So yeah, the code is actually working fine. Two things we are taken care of, that characters should be same, the characters should be common, characters should be common, and of course the frequency should be same in both the map 1 and map 2. So now let's try to optimize this solution. So one optimization here, what we can do is, instead of taking this map we can take vectors also, right? Because characters are only 26, so we can declare a vector of size 26 and give it as map 1 from 0 to 25, and here also it will store our frequencies map 2, which will be having the count of frequencies of size 26. Okay, and just this is the modification what we can do here, and nothing else we can do further. Okay, only this space optimization can be done. Okay, so now let's try to modify our solution. Okay, so let's declare the vector. Okay, so map 1 of size 26 initialized to 0 and map 2 of size 26 initialized to 0, and let's run to the loop through the strings. So int I is equal to 0, I is less than word1 dot size and I plus plus. Okay, so now map 1 of word1 of I minus character A, so that we will get the position and just increment the count, right? Here also map 2 of word2 of I minus character A and increment the count. Okay, just because we need to get the frequencies of the characters. Okay, then in the second step we will declare the vectors to instead of set, now we will be using vectors only to actually get the exact unique characters, so that we can check whether the characters are same or not. Okay, common characters are there or not. If any character is not common, in that case we will return false. Okay, so int, okay, so vector 1 of size 26 of course initialized to 0 and vector 2 of size 26 initialized to 0. Instead of set we are using vectors. Okay, so for int I is equal to 0, I is less than word1 dot size I plus plus, and vector 1 of word1 of I minus A is equal to 1. Okay, just keeping track of it. And similarly vector 2 of word2 of I minus A equal to 1. Okay, right, and then finally we will sort them. Okay, what we have to sort? We have to sort the maps, because map is holding the frequencies, right? So sort map 1 dot begin. Okay, so finally return map 1 is equal to map 2 and vector 1 is equal to vector 2. Okay, so that will be our answer. Okay, let's try to run it. Yeah, it is working fine, and let's try to submit it also. Yeah, and one more modification where we can do is we can try to run only one loop. Okay, so just avoid this one. Okay, let's try to define the vector here itself. So that only we will not be running two loops. Okay, only one loop is sufficient. So vector 2 of word 2 of I minus a equal to 1. Okay, so this will work fine. Let's try to submit finally. So yeah, we are able to submit it. Okay, so all from my side, and I hope you got the solution and you got the intuition for it. So thank you so much for watching this video, and stay connected, and please like and comment your views, and thank you for watching, and see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much.